Fired, but it's not.
You know, you're on
No. I'm going to take that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's the beauty of the colonialism. That you can be a citizen of the country still and don't have to live there.
Oh,
The only good part about that is I don't pay tax now. Oh, which was 55%.
Yep.
All right.
Exactly.
Good.
That's a lot.
Still, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 2024 Chubb Classic Trophy presentation and check presentation and press conference. I'll do a quick left to right. That's up on the stage. On the far left, we got John Sucker, President and Chief Operating Officer of ServPro. Our 2024 champion, Stephen Ames. And then closest to me, Pam Humphrey, Senior Vice President, Global Client Executive with Chubb. So thank you all for joining. Thank John and Pam. Thank you on behalf of all of us. Thank you for this tournament. Thank you for hosting and sponsoring this tournament. We can't do this without you guys. So thank you. There's also a variety of folks in this room. So our tournament staff, naturally led by Sandy Diamond, our Rockstar Executive Director. Couple of quick thank yous before we go into a Q&A. So Kevin DiDonato and his staff at Tiburon Golf Club, they do an amazing job with this course and this tournament every year. It's a busy time for them because this is tournament number 3 in 3 months. So they do a fantastic job here. As you guys saw and as we saw out there, the first couple of days here, the fans out here are second to none. They are so passionate on not only on golf, but Stephen, they're so, as you see, they're
Oh, we saw it yesterday. Yeah.
On the Champions Tour, because they love just watching just what you guys do, right? And a lot of them that are here, right? They have watched you guys through the ranks of the PGA Tour, so they feel like that they're just kind of on this journey with you guys. So the fans are just super awesome out here. Volunteers, we got a couple of our volunteers that are here, guys. Raise your hands. On behalf of all of us, thank you for everything that you do. We had over 600 volunteers this week working this tournament, and as Stephen, the guys, and Pam and John know, we can't do this tournament. We can't do any tournament. Yeah. That's right. So, guys, thank you on behalf of all of us for what you do. Also, and John will touch on this in a couple of minutes. We had one of the kind of the cooler initiatives that we do here is with John and ServPro is kind of paying homage and celebrating the military and frontline healthcare workers and service personnel. They all received complimentary admission this week. That's a big initiative for us in the tournament. And there was the Hero Outpost was absolutely packed the first couple of days. So that was awesome. One more other one before we get into the Q&A. So earlier in the week, we have a cool event. It's called the First Tee Champions Challenge, sponsored by the Naples CBB here, and Cypress Ascended and Porsche and a couple of others. So we had 5 First Tee kids or 5 First Tee chapters here, played in a 3-day tournament. They also did community service, and they got to really experience what Naples and Southwest Florida is all about. Sandy is a big fan of this. The First Tee of Metropolitan New York won the event. Sandy was former Chief Development Officer for First Tee of Metro New York, so he was smirking a little bit when his won. So, and also they were able to participate in a clinic earlier this week, so it's a really cool initiative for them. So that was a great kickoff of the week, and now we're here to wrap up the week. So what we'll do now, I'll turn it over to John for a couple of words on behalf of ServPro, and then we'll do the presentation of the check. So John, turn it over to you.
Great. Thanks, Jeremy. Thank you very much. You know, this is our 4th year as the presenting sponsor of the Chubb Classic, and this tournament gets better and better every year, and I really have to recognize certainly the Tiburon Golf Club What a great golf course, beautiful shape, terrific setup. So congratulations on that. Thank you very much. Also like to recognize certainly Outlier. Right, you got Sandy back there, him and his team. We got Ryan, Nicole. We have, of course, got Sam and Katie. That whole group. We can't do what we do without those folks out there. And I want to say thank you very much for everything that you do. And then certainly our partnership with Chubb. Right, it's a great partnership, both in this environment here and then also out in business. Terrific company. And we really, Pam, thank you very much for everything that you do. And then also want to mention to your point that Heroes Outpost, that's also very important to us. We do that in every tournament that we sponsor. We believe it's really important to recognize those first responders and military. If you think about Southwest Florida a couple of years ago with Hurricane Ian, right? They're all these people that are the first to run in and to help those people who've been alive and upside down over those types of conditions. And we really appreciate everything that they do. And it really goes to, by the way, the resiliency of this community after Ian. If you look at it, it's wonderful to see how this community's bounced back. So with that being said, Stephen, congratulations. What a great tournament. Fun to watch you play out there, striking the ball very well. And on behalf of Serpro, of our franchises, our 2,200 locations, want to present you with this check. And say congratulations.
Beautiful. Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you. Here you go, Kelly.
All right, thank you, John. Now I'd like to introduce Pam Humphrey, Senior Vice President and Global Client Executive with Chubb. Pam, the floor is yours.
Well, I just wanted to say this, the Chubb Classic is an excellent event. It's one of the signature events for Chubb. We are welcomed with open arms and have been for 26 years in the Southwest Florida area. It's impactful to the community. Chubb is a very philanthropic company, and the charity impact that we have in this community, we think is just wonderful, and it fits with our culture. I would also like to say, this event has grown over the years. Now Chubb has over, visitors, colleagues, business associates, clients, distribution partners from all over the globe. We had this time people from Europe, from Latin America, from Mexico, and of course North America, including Canada and Bermuda. So it's well attended and one of the favored events of our clients, business associates, and our colleagues. We also have expanded it over the years so that more of our colleagues and associates can take part in this wonderful event. And again, we also want to thank the Tiburon staff, the volunteers, and the Outlier organization for all the hard work they've done to make this a success, as it has been over the 26 years.
Thank you, Pam, and without further ado, I think it's time to present a little bit of hardware to our
Yes.
champion, Stephen Ames.
And Stephen, I'd like to congratulate you on great play, and you've had some exciting shots over this week, and it's been great, and congratulations, and well deserved, and I'd like to present you with the trophy.
Thank you. There you go. Okay. Thank you. Okay? Got it? Okay. Put it back here. Oh.
Yep, right down
Okay. Well, I'm just going to say a couple words. First of all, we don't need this. I'm speaking loud enough. On behalf of myself and my wife here, we want to say thank you very much to Chubb for being a wonderful sponsor on the tour. I believe it's 26 years, isn't it? It's almost 26 years that they've been here in South Florida, supporting the Champions Tour. And of course to Surf Pro for being the presenting sponsor. Thank you very much. And of course to Tiburon and the staff. Unfortunate what's happened here today, but which is very uncharacteristic of Florida, raining as much as it is this week. But the golf course is in wonderful shape. We had a great time here this week. Very busy, as we all know, it's the time of the year. But to say thank you very much for everybody for being here and for helping it out, and all the wonderful volunteers that were out there helping and shuffling along people very much this week. So again, thank you very much, and we'll see you next year. Thank you.
Seeing a couple of quick ones.
Sure.
From me, and then we'll open it up a little bit, and another one for Pam and John as well. So you're starting off pretty well. So a TA finish in Walleye last week, and then winning here. So just talk about these first two events, and one, what was your mindset going into the 2024 season, and then these first two events, and how you've been so successful so far?
I think overall it was the mindset was pretty much the same as it was last year. 2022 was a very consistent, great year for me, where I was knocking on the door multiple times, but didn't actually have a win. And then when last year came out, 23 came out, and I won 4 times, I was like, whoa, this is a little different for me. And so I learned a lot from that, from being in that situation. And the same situation arose here again this week, where everything was, it was funny because we had almost a month and a half, 2 months off, and 3 weeks prior to coming here, and I didn't play much golf, but the mental part of it was the part that was very capable, very unusual, capable at the same time for me to switch it on and go. So that's something that I actually took from 23 coming into this year. So I think at the end of the day, some people might say it's a lucky win because it was only two rounds, but at the same time, I think I was already in the mode where I think I would have won probably by 5 or 6 again. So that's the realistic of where I am right now with my game.
Following up on that, we talked a little bit about this yesterday. We knew that the weather was coming, and Rocco had the early lead after Friday. What was your mindset going into yesterday? And then was it just full on, just full court press charge because we didn't know if we were going to be able to play today or not?
It pretty much was. I wouldn't say that I changed my game approach, taking more chances or going at more flags or anything. I was still being my patient self, waiting for things to happen. The first couple of holes, I've hit it close and I didn't make any putts, and I knew there was an occasion where I had to be very patient and wait for it to happen. And it did. And on the end of the front 9, I had four in a row. And then I started going down the line. Funny enough, I didn't see enough leaderboards out there, so I was actually checking my phone to see what position I was in. I don't think it's against the rules, but I was doing that anyhow just to see. And then I realized, I'm actually leading. Okay, so, and that's where I saw that. Then I started thinking, okay, you know what, maybe I should just push down the pedal a little harder, which I did. And more birdies started following, which obviously is fun. You know, you get to that stage, you want to keep putting the pedal down and getting further and further away. Like you said, you didn't know where the situation was going to be for today. So if I ended up the day being a little bit more in front, and we did end up playing, then I would have had a bit of a cushion to start the day off. But as it turned out, as we can see from looking outside, the weather is not conducive to playing golf, unfortunately.
Yeah. So Pam and John, kind of following up on that from a fan perspective. Yesterday, the weather was beautiful yesterday, and Stephen and
the whole week.
Rocco, yeah, all week.
Yeah.
Stephen and Rocco and Ernie and Cheka and David, they were all playing lights out. Pam, you have you told me earlier that you have been coming to this tournament for over 15 years now. So
wow.
As a fan, not only as you know, top sponsor, but as a fan, what is it like to just watch these best players of the game just do what they do and do what they do with the passion that they have?
It's very exciting to watch. It's exciting to watch the fans, and I've just seen, it's always been one where the crowd really enjoys the play and enjoys the players. as you said, a lot of fans have been following the players over their whole careers, and this is a great time to see them and to just enjoy some great play of golf.
John, similar type of question for you as a fan, but also you spent a lot of time in the Hero Outpost on Friday and Saturday, and that the Serpro Hero Outpost was completely packed. So talk about from you as a fan watching this tournament, but also just being there with the military and the veterans and the first responders, and having them watch the great players of the game here this week.
Yeah, as a fan, it's amazing. There's a couple of things that's really cool about this tournament, is that the fan turnout, there's a lot of folks out there. And secondly, they're very knowledgeable, right? They know a lot about the sport, and that's always fun to watch. You don't always see that, but this fan base really gets it, so they're really good. And, there's nothing like, the enjoyment of going to that Heroes Outpost and thanking them for their service. And they are so thankful that we do it. I'm saying, well, no, it's really you. Thank you for everything that you do. And they're so appreciative. And again, we see it in all these different places, unfortunately, when something bad happens, how they race into where the trouble is. And for them to do that, it's the least we can do for them, but it was packed in there. And you get a chance to shake hands and hear stories about what they've done in their careers, whether it be firefighters, emergency medical people, or military, and it's so inspiring, right? It's really, really cool. It gives you chills for all the great stuff they do on our behalf.
Awesome, Stephen. Last one for me, and then I'll open it up. So you guys are all headed to Morocco tonight. So after this win, what does this do for your momentum and the kind of motivation? How does this kind of level set or reset your mindset going into the rest of the season so far?
No, my mindset hasn't really changed in that respect. But for next week, it actually has a little bit of motivation for me because I am defending champion, going there. And I know for a fact there are not many golfers that love that golf course, and because it is extremely difficult. From tee to green, it's probably one of the best golf courses that we play all year. But the green structures there are diabolical. It's probably a very minor word to use at that stage. So it's going to be a good mental test to be able to cope with it and stuff like that. But both Kelly and I we do enjoy going over to Morocco. One, for the people, and two, the food is fantastic. Something obviously when you're Caribbean born, you live up with those kind of curry spices and stuff like that. So I'm very much looking forward to have some nice home cooked meals next week.
Awesome. All right, we'll open up for questions. Jeff Babineau, go ahead.
I've got a couple for you, Stephen.
Okay.
Have you ever been involved in a situation like this where you were leading and didn't get to play?
First. This is my first. It's kind of nice to wake up and go, oh, congrats. I'm like, oh, okay. That was a first for me, yes.
The rain gear ready to go?
Oh, I had it all set out. Rain gear was all packed up there, ready to go.
You've had an incredible run, I think, in the last 54 weeks or so now, 5 wins. What do you think the biggest reason for that is?
It's accumulation of a lot of factors at this stage right now. One, Shaheen, I've been with my coach. I've been with him for 5 years, and we've made some wonderful progression changes in my golf swing where I feel a lot more comfortable over the ball, able to control it a lot better than I have in the past, even when I played the PGA Tour. And coming here, and then also the fact that I'm 60 in April, and after injuring my shoulder in 2020, COVID years, I only played 8 events that year, and I came out and I went, you know what, that's enough of that. I've hired John Rum's physical guy, Harry Shee, and who also works with a couple of the Canadian boys, and we started getting myself back into shape. So now it's almost a regimen now where I'm 4 to 5 days a week in the gym. So I'm doing that a lot. And I've also gone back to my old psychologist who I started on the PGA Tour in 2004. Alan Fine. His company is Inside Out in Salt Lake City. So we've gotten back together. Those are all accumulation things. And then, of course, remarrying and finding this lovely lady, Kelly, who we've been together for 6 years. It's another big factor in my life, too. So a lot of great positives there for me. And so I'm just playing mind-free and enjoying golf.
You had some strong years on the PGA Tour and got in the top 20 in the world. Is this some of your best golf, regardless of where you're playing?
Yeah, I would probably say it is, yes, for sure, yeah.
And I'll ask finally for me, as a young kid in Trinidad, what drew you to golf?
Ooh, I guess just the nature of the sport, being very individual, not having to rely on other people to play well, because I can put 110% on a team and the guy next to me is only putting in 10%. It's like, well, that's not really fair, you know. The onus always ended up being on me. So something that any individual wants to achieve in life, we all know we have to work hard at it. So the more effort and the more work, or the emphasis of working at it harder, you're going to achieve something out of it. And I've always been that kind of mindset throughout my whole career and life. And so that's basically how I started and picked it up. My dad played it. We played a couple rounds together. My grandmother played it as well. So it's somewhat of a family thing, but not a big family thing.
Any more questions? Doug?
Yeah, we got two quick ones for you. First of all, this is your third top 10 finish out here. Just a few comments on the course. Obviously, it suits your game pretty well. Just a few comments about specifically what you do like about this course and how it does work well for you.
It's unique because of the way it was built. I know through what I remember reading with Greg when he was building the course that he had a lot of challenges with the environmental stuff. So the unique thing about this golf course compared to the other golf courses that we've played in the past down here, as an example, Twin Eagles, there's a little bit more room for forgiveness off the tee. Here, you miss the fairway, you've missed the fairway, you know. So, which kind of funny enough, actually is my nature of my game. It's fairway green, fairway green, fairway green. So in the past, funny enough, I've never enjoyed playing here. Maybe because of my mindset coming into it, but this week it's after what I learned from last year and the year before that. I came here with a different mindset. Great, I'm going to love this golf course, and I made myself love the golf course. And I hit the ball extremely well, which is, for this time of the year for me, it's very unusual. So, but at the same time, like I said, it was rough in the fairways. The greens were fantastic, rolling surfaces that we played. Everything about the whole week itself was wonderful. You know, the crowds were fantastic. The sponsors are great. You know, they're here for us, which is lovely. And then at the same time, we had a wonderful. We always have a good time when we come down to Naples too.
And second question, 4 wins last year, and if I did my math right, you've now got 5 in your last 24 starts on PGA Tour Champions. At the end of the season, last season, you mentioned the sports psychologist. Are you the type that has to kind of dial yourself down a little bit? I'm not at all implying that there was any cockiness or anything coming out this season, but did you have to kind of take a minute and think, all right, is the goal to better that in 2024? Or how do you kind of approach a new season when you've had such a good one?
Well, yeah, I'm actually getting that comment from a lot of people, one being my wife. Babe, you're supposed to be in your twilight years, not peaking, you know? So we're taking it in stride, let's put it that way. We're learning from this perspective of where we're at right now. The cockiness part, no, I've been there, done that. I've learned that from golf in the past. It can eat you and spit you out, literally. At this stage right now, we've come back down, and it's a new year. We've set different goals, and we're trying to gain those goals and see what happens if we achieve those goals at the end of the year. And then we'll reset again and go for 25. But I think at the end of every year, I think all players do set a goal that they think that is attainable and go from there. I've got some lengthy, some very big top ones there for me to achieve, and we'll see if I achieve them or not. But I think at the end of the day, I'm not going to look back and say, well, I didn't achieve them, beat myself up. I'm going to say, started the year off 1 here at Chubb. I'm like, great, well, I'm off and running, which is great.
Perfect. Okay. If no more questions, Pam, John, Stephen, thank you very much. We will head downstairs for some additional photos downstairs, and everybody in the room, Kevin, staff, Kevin, I see you back there. Thank you for everything that you guys did this week for us as the host course, and we'll see everybody at the Chubb Classic presented by Serve Pro in February of 2025. Thank you, everybody.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, thanks.